What's going on?
Not much, just riding the wave at the moment. A little bit from life after fighting. It's going a bit crazy. We had another huge sellout last night with over at the Orpheum in Cremorne. So yeah, it's just been just crazy busy at the moment.
Dude, I'm seeing it blow up, hey. Like everywhere.
Yeah,
I'm hanging to see it. It looks amazing.
yeah. It's like we've been getting great reviews, Neville. We've I know it's coming to Queensland in cinemas over in. Sorry if I say this incorrectly. Coorparoo or Corporoo. And Southport. So, I mean, through Dendy Cinemas. So we got two
Yeah.
locations up between Queensland, starting from the 27th, I believe. We're going to Canberra as well. The Hayden Orpheum at Cremorne has just picked it up for another week. United Cinemas have just extended it for another week in Narellan. So it's just, considering how we made it and what we went through, it's just, yeah, it's as you said, man, it's just really blowing up. And so we're over the moon about it. And all the reviews, like from the United Kingdom, from the United States, they've just been really positive. They're all like A plus. And we even got this really cool one. It's called Mum's Movie Reviews, and it's like this lovely older lady, but she's just singing this movie's praises, and that's a completely different market. But the fact that she's enjoying it, it was quite flattering, mate.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, because Southport is 10 minutes that way.
My man,
That way. So like, Denny's a good
you got to
spot.
go, Neville. You got to go and see it in cinema, man. Because it's just look. We had Sam Hayward, who's this Emmy award-winning sound designer, and when he saw the film, he's like, I have to get on board. I have to do this. And the sound design, once you experience it in the cinema, like the bone crunching and the impacts, it's just not the same as you can stream it if you've got a good sound system.
Yeah.
It's cool.
You wanna
In cinema and the sound just blasts and it hits it. It's just that visceral feeling, man. You'll love it. You'll love it.
well, because I guess we've got a lot to talk about here. The
Yeah,
movie,
yeah,
of course, which I had some other questions about. But
yeah, yeah,
you're actually coming to, well, you're doing Supernova this
yeah.
weekend and next weekend as well, right? You're doing both?
No, I'm only doing this weekend,
Okay,
mate. Yeah, so just time's a little bit limited. We've got so much going on, so I'm
of
just going to get in there
course.
for a short period on the Saturday, and see how that goes. But yeah, unfortunately, that's the only one I can kind of get in on the schedule at the moment, mate.
Oh, mate, do you like doing the cons when you can do them?
Um, yeah, yeah. Oh, look, this is the first time I've done it in Australia. We had quite a few events when I was in the States. I mean, just going back through the career, hate to harp on that, but some daytime when I was on Days of Our Lives, we had some events there, and then some through the TV show The Last Ship and whatnot. And look,
Yeah.
I don't mind it. It's great. It's lovely to meet people and firsthand show your appreciation for them, because without the people, mate, you're nothing. It all comes down to the people, doesn't it? So you've got to give a little bit of love back when you can. But yeah, because I was gone for a very long time. I was in the United States from 2009 until 2021, and there were brief periods when I came back for family and whatnot. But we're kind of here permanently now. So it's just kind of re-establishing everything in Australia, because you build up a career in one country and then you've been gone from another for so long that it's
Mm.
almost like it's got to rebuild again. And some great things have been happening, particularly with the movie. And there's also spent about 4 months at the beginning of the year on Last King of the Cross, the Paramount TV show, which I'll be
Yeah.
appearing on in August. So, but yeah, look, things are good, man. I can't complain. So yeah, back to your question. Yeah, it's good to be experiencing something like Supernova in Australia. But as I said, it's the first time for me in Australia coming to Supernova.
I think it's going to be pretty crazy, man. Because right now, if you couldn't tell, that there's Mad Max fever going on. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
There's a little movie that's opened up called Furiosa, obviously, and man, everyone's like buzzing it, and like I got mates that have restarted playing the video game again.
oh, really?
You know what I mean? Because it connects. They're finding the little Easter eggs. They're going, oh man, it's like a prequel, and it connects here and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So it's cool, man. I think you're gonna have a whole bunch of people coming up want that game scribbled on. That's gonna be cool.
Ah, that's cool. Yeah, that game, I'm telling you, that was something else. That spanned years, and not all at once. It was,
Yeah.
period spread over a bit of time. But the game, once the script started coming to me, Neville, it was like I would be reading it and I would be like, wow, this is good. This is good. And I'll never, like, Chris Saltman, who was one of the directors at Warner Brothers when we were in there and I was doing a lot of the acting and stuff. A lot of the stuff was hitting pretty hard because it's, you know, when he talks about hope and the girl and it just and the condition of the world and some of the monologues and whatnot, it's kind of really hard hitting. And as an actor, just doing the performances, you really want to invest yourself into it.
Of course.
And when I went for the audition, it wasn't just voice; they got me on camera. So it was on camera, so they could really see the performance and see what was going on. And then a lot of the motion capture was, you know, primarily to do with the face and whatnot. But yeah, it was really, it was more than I ever expected it to be. And, you know, listening to some of the scenes back and within the performances of the characters, it just ended up being so much more than I ever expected. Truly grateful for it. It was a wonderful experience. Who knows? Maybe they'll make a part 2 and we'll get to revive it, mate. I have no idea. That's just speculation, you know.
What if they did like a Netflix series or something like that? That'd be kind of cool.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing. I mean, look, I'm sure you'd agree. Mad Max has got to be one of the most iconic Australian characters, or one of the things to come in Australia. So yeah, something like a series of that nature would be bloody epic, wouldn't it? You know, and to bring the action element too, because look, it's an iconic Australian character. This also ties back into Life After Fighting, which we'll probably talk about later.
Yeah, of course.
One of the things we lack in Australia is that in the game, the martial arts and the action, it's brutal, the hand-to-hand combat. And we don't do that very often in Australia. We're really known for our drama. But yeah, Mad Max, you know, that would be the perfect catalyst, you know, a series, Mad Max, where you get to, you know, put Australia on the map in terms of action, like we've done with Life After Fighting. But, you know, honor that iconic character, you know, the way it should be honored. It would be amazing. That's a brilliant idea, mate. You should pitch it to Netflix, brother.
You tell them to back that money truck up, because I've got $3 in my bank. No, you know, but I just saying, just putting it out there. I think it'd be cool to see you reprise that role in a live action. And that's I have you met the other Maxes like Mel?
No, I haven't. No. I crossed paths with Mel. We never got to speak, but we were at the same place at one time. Tom Hardy, I haven't met. So I think it was those two. It's Tom Hardy and Mel Gibson. They're the other two Maxes, right?
There's only 3. You're one of 3. That's it, man. That's it. So
it's good. It's good company to be amongst, I must say.
Absolutely, man. And of course, you know, you're not only a great actor, but you're an incredible martial artist, man. Like, that's where it began for you. Like, the stuff that I've seen you do, it blows me away, man. Like, you're so fast. You know, I don't know how I even get up in the morning, let alone you doing these flips and stuff. Like, but that's where it began, right? When you were quite young.
Yeah. Like, look, I you know, God bless my mother. She was 6 years old. Look, there was a local karate class, and I wanted to go to it, but I was too young. They only would take me when I turned 6. So all the other kids in the neighborhood were a little bit older. And the minute I turned 6, I was there, because I was just like a broken record, wouldn't let up, you know. So I got there, and then within months, the karate instructor had nicknamed me the Thrashing Machine, and I was never sure why. And you know, I asked my mum years into training, why does he call me that? And she said, it's because you're very quick, Bren. You're very fast. Yeah. And I was like, oh. So it was kind of a cool compliment. But when he would call me the Thrashing Machine at the time, I didn't know. I was a little boy, you know. I didn't know how to take it. I didn't know if it was good or if it was bad, you know. And then when I finally mustered enough courage to ask why, it turned out to be good. So I was happy. Anyway, so it started when I was 6, and just, yeah, pretty much my whole life got to fight for Australia, got to represent my country, you know, international events, saw the world through martial arts. So it's always been something that's been very dear and very, very special to me. But in my prime, it was, look, in today's martial arts, it's truly the golden age of martial arts with the UFC and but when I was at my prime, we had to kind of pay our own way to go overseas. There wasn't a lot of in terms of money to be made or career to be made. The only way you could really kind of make a living out of it was have a really nice school. But in today's day and age, in the last 10 years, it's a little different. There's through the UFC and the high profile one events and in glory kickboxing and whatnot. They've been really, superstars have been made through the martial arts arena, which is great. But unfortunately, I didn't get to experience that in my prime. But we all contributed to that, building towards what it is today. But yeah, so I guess, the martial arts has been a huge part of my life, continues to be a part of my life. And it's the discipline that it's injected, even making the transition to acting. I knew from martial arts that I could never put the ego forward when I wanted to learn something new. I had to strip myself of everything I'd already known. And if it was the Filipino martial arts that I started to learn, or I never forget when I first went onto the mat into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I was already holding black belts in different styles. But when I got on the ground to wrestle, it was a complete different world. But I had to let go of all my ego and understand, okay, this is a completely new system. Strip yourself of ego, allow yourself to learn, and be humble. And that discipline was ingrained so deeply in me from the martial arts that when I wanted to make the jump to acting, I realized, well, if you want to do this properly, you need to go back to school. So I spent 3 months at a full-time Southern Conservatory in New York acting, and I realized, hey, you know nothing about acting, Bren. So when I came back to Australia, I auditioned for one of the universities and then studied there, and then I was there for 3 years, and then at another school called the Actors Pulse, which was bloody amazing, who I actually teach there from time to time now. So yeah, I think that discipline from the martial arts, and I'm just going back to that, Neville, because you said it all started from the martial arts, but it's affected every area of my life. From being able to understand that I knew nothing about acting, and if I wanted to do it, I had to go back and study through the appropriate channels intensely if I wanted to become good at it. And then even with my martial arts, if I'm learning new stuff, always strip away what I think I already know, push my ego aside, and be open and humble enough to always keep learning. And I think that area and that discipline through the martial arts, I've been able to apply in every area of my life. Long-winded answer, man. Sorry.
No. I like it. No, it's incredible, man. And it's important, that discipline and things like that, and how it does. I hear it. I do hear it. And how it does affect other areas of people's lives.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I wish I kept it up when I was a kid, but I didn't. I chose music. I chose music instead. But
music that's a discipline, man. One thing I always. What instrument do you play now?
I'm a vocalist.
Wow. Okay.
So
right.
Yeah. I do the death metal thing.
Great.
So it's if you'd call that as a vocalist, but no, there's technique. I know how to do it. But yeah.
That is awesome. Okay. Well, look, you're using that's not too indifferent from an actor, because an actor uses themselves as the instrument. A vocalist, you use yourself. It's you. It's your all the skill of using your breath and your voice and your style. You're the instrument. You're experiencing that. Sometimes on the outside with musicians, they got the piano or the guitar, and great. I mean, it's a brilliant art and form and talent. But sometimes when you're using yourself, it's just another additional layer, I think, sometimes. So that's a credit to you, mate, as a vocalist.
I appreciate that. Thanks. I'll send you a track, and you'll go, what the hell's this dude doing? But
we got one real cool. Victoria is her name. There's a small segment in the movie, and she's this small petite young lady, but she puts on this, and we used a little portion of that in the movie. And she's phenomenal, man. She's phenomenal. But you would never think that the voice that's coming out in the track was coming from her. You know what I mean? Man, she's great.
I can't wait to hear it. That'll be sick.
Yeah. You'll recognize it straight away. Yeah.
Oh, man. You've worked with some incredible people. Just to name something like Danny Trejo and Ving Rhames and Stone Cold, and even my childhood crush, Christina Ricci. Mate, it's Steven Seagal. How is it working with all these people? Obviously.
You know what? I've got nothing but good things to say about all of them, mate. You know, Christina was she was great. She was lovely. I did Wallflowers with her very early on. I first went into the States, and that got me into the Screen Actors Guild, which was like, you know, stage one when you first get to the United States and you work, mate. You know, Ving Rhames was cool. Danny Trejo was awesome. I remember driving around New Mexico in this big convertible blue Cadillac with him, and he was just so open, you know, because I was asking him everything, what it was like with Stallone and, you know, all the different people that he's worked with. And it was just great to just be, you know, driving around and just, you know, talking to this guy and getting his perspective on things, you know, because he's obviously a lot older and has insight in the industry, and he's experienced his life, and just you know, a soulful person with a lot of wisdom that he's willing to share and give. You know, look, Steven Seagal was great. You know, we'd come on set and he just had that mutual respect as a martial artist. And, you know, some people say some things about Steven, but, you know, I didn't really experience anything bad. He was always quite, you know, polite and nice. Who else is there? Who else was there? Who else to mention it? There was one. Stone Cold.
Yeah.
He's the man. Dude, Neville, that guy, he was a crack up. He was like, he had me in hysterics, like laughing my ass off when we were in Vancouver, I think, when we were doing Maximum Conviction. And we were in an elevator and a lift, sorry. Lift, elevator. So we're going up, and I was on Days of Our Lives at the time. And it seemed to be pretty popular in Vancouver. And we're going out the door, and something held me back, and then he closed the door on me, and there was a whole bunch of people, like girls, in the elevator, and he goes, "Oh, and by the way, that's him from Days of Our Lives." He closed the door on me, and he left, and I'm stuck in the elevator, and they're all just looking at me, and they're like, "Oh my god, it's Quinn from Days of Our Lives." I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, hey guys," and then, you know, they wanted to get selfies and stuff in the lift, but it was all his fault.
He got you.
Yeah, he got me through. Yeah. Because you can't go anywhere when you're in a lift, right? So you're kind of stuck. I mean, not that I minded or anything, mate. It was, you know, flattering, but yeah, he was a funny guy. And for the short time that I did spend with Steve, I got a lot of love for him. Perfect gentleman, really nice guy, a lot of fun to be around.
Oh man, that's so good. That's so good. But of course, back to Life After Fighting. You wrote it, directed it, starring it. What I think that's such a huge task to take on. You know, man, like, how long was this in development for? Like, how far back does it go?
Yeah, I think, you know, in the States, when everything happened with COVID, right, everything kind of, the whole industry shut down, and, you know, people were feeling the pinch a little bit. And it started, a lot of the stuff that was coming my way, I would read it and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, action, but I didn't like the stories, or I didn't like the characters. So it kind of just started getting a little bit redundant, because that was a lot of the stuff that was coming in. Every now and then a really cool drama would come my way, because I've done a lot of stuff outside of action in terms of just straight drama, which also very much interested me as well. But then sometimes those projects didn't get off the ground. They didn't really go anywhere. They never ended up happening. So I think at that point I wrote 2 other scripts, and Life After Fighting was the third one. And these all happened in the lockdown periods, because there was a lot of time. And when we looked at them, myself and my partner in our production partner, Spinning Plates, my partner in that company is Navid Bahadori, who's been my friend for over 20 years. And we have an interesting story. I'll give you a bit more about that after. But we said, okay, Life After Fighting is probably the most viable one that we can actually make right now. So just being dissatisfied with what was out there, and in terms of stories and whatnot. So I wrote it, and then Navid and I said, yes, this is the one. And then we talked about directors and whatnot. And Navid was very encouraging. My wife was very encouraging. Some director friends like Shane Abyss, one of the Australia's most award-winning DOPs, Carl Robertson. They all said to me, no, Bren, you have to direct this. And I was like, what? Now, I'm also an acting teacher, so I'm used to directing actors, but the task of actually a movie with, you know, cameras, lenses, lighting was a little bit daunting, Neville, not going to lie. but they insisted. They said, no, Bren, no one understands what you're trying to do like you, like trying to really capture what a true martial arts school is like, what it's like to get inside the combat athlete's psyche, to then understand, loss of children in what, being a father, or what it's like for parents to what that would be like. So they insisted. So, with the support of my wife and, business partner, Navid, and whatnot, they said, you need to direct. And I was like, all right, let's do it. So, yeah, we went from, I worked with the actors, we came in, we did rehearsals, I got it to, what I believe was the best performances. Also, you got to have trust in your actors, they might give you 5 or 6 different takes, and they might need to go to a certain area to get to that one that you want, but you got to trust that they're gonna go through it and get it. So anyway, jumping around a little bit, but yeah, so I think the writing and the directing and the acting, I mean, it's a lot to take on, but in order for me to get exactly what I wanted, I think that's what I had to do. And look, there's self-doubt, Neville. You think, am I trying to bite off more than I can do, because you're also doing all the stunt design, all the fight choreography. But when you got people around you that believe in you, and you also believe in them, it does make the process a lot easier. And I think what helped me the most, being able to wear so many hats, was that because I was so invested and so committed, all the other actors followed suit, from Luke to Cassie to Ethan to Mike Duncan to everyone. They invested completely. The stunt guys it was my stunt team from my martial arts school. Yeah. So they gave everything, and they gave complete investment into this project. So when you're leading the way, if they see that you're 100% committed and that you're fully invested in every way, shape, or form, it's easy for them to do the same. And I think that was one of the major things that we were able to bring to Life After Fighting to make it such a unique and special film. Because what happens with a lot of the action genre, especially in the Western world, there's like this, 12 to 15 day formula where they shoot the movie in that many days. They'll fly in a big star who just quickly learns his lines or her lines and reads them off cue cards. They don't really care about the project. They come in for 3 or 4 days, get their, $1 million or whatever. They take off, and then the other actors are trying to, push it all together. And then just quick hodgepodge, edit it together, get it out there. Yeah. Where ours wasn't like that. It was an Australian movie, and we wanted to honor the drama that Australia is so well known for, but we wanted to bring this amazing level of high-end action that we wanted to rival things like The Raid and the John Wicks, which I personally think we did, and a lot of reviewers have said that we have. I don't want to sound like an egomaniac either. No.
Yeah. Man, from what I saw of it, I'm pretty sure that's correct.
Thanks, brother. Thanks. But yeah, look, that was a huge answer, but that kind of just. Yeah, there's more than one factor in terms of why I chose to wear so many hats. But I think now it's like, especially Navid, was just speaking with Navid today about our next project, mate, and he's like, no, it has to be. You have to direct it. You have to star in it. It's already written, thank God, but it's a lot of another bunch of hats that I have to wear. And hey, if it's not hard and it's not difficult, then I don't think it's worth doing, right?
That's right. That blood, sweat, and tears, man. You see that up on that screen, you know exactly, it's not just slapped together. You've literally, bled for that art. And that's super cool, man. Yeah,
thank you, mate.
But the story behind it as well does touch up upon, obviously there's some sensitive subjects there, like child trafficking and things like that, which I could imagine writing would have been difficult, especially maybe doing the research and things like that. Like, I see stuff like that online, and it's something that gets to me, man. You know what I mean? I could imagine immersing your mind into that sort of world for the story would have been difficult. Was that something that you had to sort of try and separate?
It is difficult. I'm a father, and I have friends who are parents. Being in a martial arts school, you see so many children all coming through, and I think, look, children are the future of our world, and we have to look after them, and we have to cultivate them. what they learn in these early years is going to be the foundation of what they become as adults.
Yes.
So as much love and as much care and much protection that we can give to our children are only going to make for more stable and better adults. And if we can build more stable and better adults from childhood level, we're just going to make our world a better place. And the one thing about a martial arts school, too, I'm just deviating for a moment, but you can go in there and you can see people from any race, religion, it doesn't matter, sexual orientation, it just does not matter. But everyone is there training in pure harmony. Okay? Yeah. And it just doesn't matter. And there's only one of the places in the world where you can see that happening. So reverting back to the child trafficking issue, I really, in life, I really want to try and gain awareness for children and protect children and ensure that children are receiving love from all avenues in an appropriate way. And when I was in the United States, there was Child Trafficking Day, and we spoke with a few, people I'd worked with in the past, and I was like, come on, guys, let's all wear blue and let's make a little bit of noise on social media for the safety of the children. And only a handful when the day came, only a handful of people responded. And I was really, really upset and really disappointed. I was like thinking to myself, you will come out about all these issues, social issues, which are, let's say, for lack of a better term, fashionable at the time for them. Yes. And then when it comes to our children, crickets. You won't come out and you won't say a word because I guess it just wasn't fashionable enough at the time. Where come out for the other things. That's great. You have my support in that. But let's not forget children are the most important thing in our world. And to me, they are.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're the future of humanity and the future of our world. So how much trouble would it have been to spend a couple of minutes, use your profile to just gain some awareness for the children? And it didn't happen. So that was one of the other reasons. I mean, obviously, I wanted to make an action movie with great characters.
Yeah.
But I think what could we use to really lift up the stakes? And it was just a good way of bringing it all together to create something that I wanted to do. So, yeah, look, it was hard. And then when also some of the research that you come across, like once a child is taken, how quickly they can potentially be killed, or how quickly potentially they're just shipped off to a complete country, or how quickly they can be grabbed and taken into a car. We have to be super vigilant and aware of that stuff. Also in Australia, through some of my research, 20,000 children a year go missing. 20,000. How much of that do we hear about?
Yeah, you don't hear much of it. No.
We don't hear, hear hardly anything. And sometimes, look, it might be a separated, family where one parent takes the other one across the border and to a different state, and the child is still looked after and okay, and then they find them. Some of them might be runaways, but come on, out of 20,000, they're not all returned.
Yeah, no,
they are not all returned. Yeah, so why are we not getting more information like that? We see videos of just a parent turns around for just a moment, and then someone just walks in and, reaches and grabs a toddler's hand and walks off, There's just some despicable things out there. And we have to, and the more we're aware of that stuff, and the more parents can be aware of that stuff, the safer it's going to be for children. Just the other day, there was an experiment, and I think I reposted and I wrote, "Are you effing serious?" But there was a little kid walking, and this guy comes up behind the little kid, puts his hand over his mouth, picks him up, and just ducks into a side alley. And Neville, my God, people just turned their head and kept walking.
Yeah, no, it's bad, man.
Women,
it gets to me, eh?
Yeah, men too. Yeah. I'm thinking, and then one person, like 3-4 times, like a couple of guys just turned and just didn't care, just kept walking. And there was one young girl. She saw this kid get picked up and run in, and she ran after the guy. She ran after that guy, and I was God bless you, young lady. And she was like between 18 or 20 years old. But what about all the other ladies, all the older women?
Yeah.
What about all the men?
Yeah.
Like, man, come on, you know. And it was just this one young lady, and we need more people like her.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, even if it was
100%.
just experiment, it was one thing. It's like, come on. It just goes to show where we're at sometimes, you know. That's a child. It's just a little boy. You don't know that was an experiment. You don't know that it was...
Mate, that's...
Yeah, it wasn't real.
Okay, like, yeah, I was like, I'm like, oh, yeah, no, it's no. I get so invested in it that it's quite, yeah. But I think that's something that's super important about the movie, and I respect you that you're bringing that to light through film and not, you know, just pushing it aside, like, as you said, like everybody else. But man, in general, that aside, I can't wait to see the film, man. It's going to be unreal. So when is it out nationally?
Yeah, so right now, we've from the 13th, it came out in Narellan in New South Wales.
Yep.
It came out in Victoria. It came out in Western Australia. New South Wales at Narellan is giving it another week run at cinemas. This is all cinemas I'm talking about. And then the Hayden Orpheum in Cremorne, which is a beautiful, beautiful cinema. They're giving it a week run there too. So I'll be showing there every day for a week, which I think maybe starts from next week, but I will get those dates. And then the Dendy Cinemas are showing the film in in Canberra, Southport, which we just discussed, and I know I'm not saying this correctly, Cooperoo or Culperoo.
No, that was right. Cooperoo. You're going to go Cooperoo.
All right, so I'm glad I got that, mate. So there, and then we had one a few showing at the Astor in Melbourne. These are open, like ticket sales, so for anyone to buy, obviously. But the showings have been doing quite well, especially Narellan's had quite a huge influx because it was originally there they've extended their showing of the film for another week. They've asked if they can do that. And yet the ones at Cremorne, we had a big showing last night. We actually sold out our cinema last night. I think we were at about just over 300, the cinema held that we were in, but it sold out the night before and people were still trying to buy tickets. So I got inundated with messages of people trying to buy tickets. And so what they did, they moved us into they've got a cinema that seats over 700 people there. It's huge.
Yeah. So
they moved us into there, and we, when I looked out for the queue after the screening, it was pretty full, mate. Like, there was a seat here and there, but overall it looked pretty damn full. So it was a great night.
That's unreal, man. That's unreal. Well, Zoom's about to kick us off in a minute because it's got the timer.
Okay, mate.
But I hate how it does that. But man, it's just last quick question. You mentioned you got another project you're working on. Can you spill the beans on that, or is that like under the wraps?
We're still like finalizing the script, but it's this one. I think our flavor. We still want to have high drama, heavy action. We don't want to disappoint our action fans, but we want to stay true to what our plan is, which is making sure we honor with Australian drama with great stories, great performances, great actors. We really want to build this industry in Australia, but we want to create a niche where we're able to bring high drama, high level action, and mix it up with the best action movies in the world.
Unreal, man. That's unreal. Well, Brent, thanks for hanging out, dude. It's been really cool.
Thanks for having me, brother. Pleasure to talk to you.
Yeah. I'll have all the links down here in the show notes to Supanova and Life After Fighting, and on the website. Hey, have a good weekend at Supanova.
I will, mate. Thanks for your time, man.
Hey, take care, bro. See ya.